What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we are going to be helping you answer the question, what is the best syndicate within the Destiny 2 Renegades expansion? Which syndicate should you pledge to first? Which one should you level up initially? That is a very important question that a lot of people are going to be asking because it's the entire basis of the Renegades endgame. And hopefully we can break down what each syndicate offers in value and help you make that decision. And so, let's get started. Alright, so after the Renegades campaign, you're going to get the quest, The Territory War Begins. You're going to want to do this quest because along the way, you will have to pick and pledge to a certain syndicate. So here are the three different syndicates. You have the Totality Division, those are the Cabal. Then you have the Pikers, these are the Fallen. And finally, you have the Tharsis Reformation, these are the Vex. Now, what do you get for pledging to one of these syndicates compared to the others? Well, there's three main distinctions. Three things each syndicate offers that are going to be what we're judging the value of these syndicates on. So the first thing is that when you pledge to a syndicate, as you can see right here, you actually unlock new Renegades abilities. So, for example, if I want that big AT-ST walker, I have to pledge to the Totality Division. Now, you may notice that there's actually a second Renegade ability that all of these different factions offer, the top one, but you actually gain access to that automatically. You just can't upgrade it past level 4. So if you really like any of those top Renegade abilities, for example, the Vex Shield one is very good, and you really want to upgrade it, well then you will have to pledge to Tharsus Reformation to do so. Alright, so that is the first key factor. Which syndicate is offering the better Renegades abilities? Then our next factor is Praxic Blade Upgrades. So, with your Praxic Blade, with your lightsaber, as you can see right here, we have this empty mod socket that contains our blade focus mods. And almost all of them come from the syndicates. But if you look closer, you'll see that, they have three of the same matching symbols 3 times. Essentially, these are the same mods, but with better and better rarities. So you can see right here, we have Grip 2, and Grip 3, and you're going to get the better version of this Grip mod based on how much you've leveled up that particular syndicate. In this case, it's the Pikers. So that's our next main factor. Which Praxic Blade upgrade that these syndicates offer is the best, will improve your Praxic Blade the most? Alright, now the final factor to consider is the weapon associated with each syndicate. So, as you can see right here, if you go to one of these syndicates areas, they're selling a specific weapon. And as you rank up these syndicates, you can get better versions of that weapon. You can see initially I can only buy like this one particular, in this case, the blaster, and it's dropping at tier 3. So as I rank them up, likely the other ones are going to drop with higher tiers, right? So which of these exclusive weapons is the best? Like, which is likely to be the most meta? That's also what we're looking at. So taking all those three factors into consideration, let's take a look at our first syndicate, the Pikers. So, as for their Renegade abilities, the non-exclusive one is the Falcon, which I'm not a fan of. It's a sparrow with guns. You're gonna get clapped as soon as an invader shows up, and they can explode very easily from PvE enemies as well. Then you have the Piker Mortar. You can call it down and it will just continuously shoot these like tracking missiles at enemies. Fine, but I have definitely not been super impressed by this one. Now, as for their lightsaber upgrade, as we saw earlier, they're going to offer the Grip upgrade, which gives you more guard resistance and guard endurance. So if you're finding yourself doing a lot of guarding with your Praxic Blade, this is a better one. But if you're using the Stronghold Exotic Gauntlets for the Titan, for example, that just maxes these stats out, this is utterly useless. So keep that in mind. Now, as for the weapon, guys, the Pikers are going to offer The refurbished A499, aka the Mandalorian Disintegrator Rifle. So, this is a brand new single-shot heavy sniper rifle. We've never seen anything like this before in the game, a brand new weapon archetype, and this is very cool. Now, in my experience, I have not been blown away by its performance, but again, like, this is brand new. It could end up being extremely meta, we just don't know. This is definitely one of the more attractive reasons to side with the Pikers, is to have the option to purchase this, again, brand new, never before seen weapon archetype. Again, as for the lightsaber upgrade and the renegade abilities, I think neither of them are that insane. Now, moving on from there, guys, we have the Tharsis Reformation, aka the Vex. So, as for their renegade abilities, the non-exclusive one is the Vex Deflector. I really like this thing. It just puts up a protective shield. It will actually give anyone inside amplified, and this can completely thwart an enemy invader. If you're standing in the shield, like, what are they gonna do? And it's just overall a very good renegade ability. With that being said, upgrading it to the max is just going to make it, frankly, a lot bigger. That's the main difference. And so you can totally get away with just the free upgrades if you don't want to pledge to the Vex. Now, the other exclusive renegade ability is going to be the Vex Stun Field. And overall, I have not been too stunned by it. So, yes, it is good when you can call it in right where all the enemies are spawning and it's going to blind and damage them, but you have so much crowd control in the game already, and I think there are more powerful abilities for sure. This one can do some work, but again, I don't think it's one of the best renegade abilities. Vex Deflector, however, is the best, again, but it is the one that you can kind of get for free. Now, as for the Praxic Blade upgrade, the Tharsis Reformation gets Forceful Blade, which will just make it do more damage. It improves the impact. Now, keep in mind, guys, you're actually going to get more impact depending on your stance. Like, if you're in defensive stance, your impact is going to be lower, so you're not going to get as much from Forceful Blade. But yeah, like, if you are mainly interested in buffing your Praxic Blade, just having it do more damage is clearly going to be, I think, the best upgrade here. So in that case, the Tharsis Reformation is the clear winner, the clear syndicate for improving your Praxic Blade. Now, the featured weapon for the Tharsis Reformation is going to be the All or Nothing, which is a strand pulse rifle. It's a blaster dynamic heat weapon, and this can get some pretty cool rolls here. I mean, I already have it with Firefly and then the new perk that will cause explosions on higher heat. And remember, guys, you can vent and then stop venting, so you're always at higher heat once you get there. So you can basically guarantee constant explosions for everything you kill. It does have some very juicy perks for sure for a fast firing pulse rifle. Like, definitely a pretty cool weapon to get with some pretty saucy rolls. But we still have one more syndicate to look at, and that is going to be the Totality Division, so the Cabal. Now, taking a look at their renegade abilities, the first one here is the Imperium Drop Pod. So this can be extremely powerful, especially when you do upgrade it to level 4 and above, which does require you to pledge to this syndicate, because that is going to make it come with heavy ammo as well. So think about it, you're invading or being invaded, you can call one of these down and instantly get heavy ammo, and there's no shortage of unbelievable heavy weapons that can absolutely nuke invaders or the helpless victims that you're invading, right? So that is very good. I don't think it's worth using unless you are pledged and have upgraded it so it's giving you heavy ammo. Then you have the exclusive ability, which is the Behemoth, the Walker, and yeah, this thing is insane. I think the Imperium Behemoth is overall, by far, the best renegade ability you get from the syndicates. you could argue that like the recon, shank, and some other stuff that's general purpose could be overall more useful, but like if you're pledging for an ability, I think it's got to be the Imperium Behemoth. This thing does a ton of damage against PvE enemies, and it is amazing against invaders. Like, we're being invaded right here. What is this guy gonna do? I just walk him down with my Behemoth. Good luck. Either you brought a Behemoth, you have full super or some sort of heavy to deal with me, or you're gonna die, dude. Like, you come in with a sniper rifle, you thinking you're XXX Sniper Phase 1000, good luck, buddy, because I can just walk you down. Like, so that is definitely a reason to pledge to this particular syndicate. Now, as for the Praxic Blade upgrade, you get Crystal Strength, which improves your charge rate. So if you find yourself throwing your Praxic Blade a lot, you're going to want more charge rate. Now, sometimes it takes so long to go and come back. Charge rate doesn't matter too much. This will also impact blocking if you're not using strongholds, obviously. And so charge rate is just good overall. It is definitely worse than impact, but it's, I think, kind of the second best one. I don't really care too much about guard resistance and guard endurance, to be honest. So after that, we then have our weapon. And for the Totality Division, your weapon is going to be the modified B7 pistol. So this is a stasis hand cannon that can get some very juicy rolls. It's a 180, which some people love, some people don't, but it can get Firefly plus Headstone. That's right. The insane double explosion wombo combo that used to only be available on a comp hand cannon. This is much more accessible, guys, so could be a very, very good weapon here. And so overall, guys, which syndicate should you pick? Well, I personally went with the Totality Division. I really want that Behemoth. I want it fully upgraded because I plan on doing a lot of Lawless Frontier and playing in that endgame, so obviously having a really powerful Renegades ability, that's something I'm going to be using all the time. I also think that B7 pistol, like getting that God roll with Firefly Headstone, that's something I really want as well. So that is the choice I made. With that being said, clearly they are lacking, I think, in the Praxic Blade upgrade, right? Like, I rather have impact. And so that means if I was to have a second choice, it would be the Tharsus Reformation, right? You get clearly the best Praxic Blade upgrade, just more damage. And then you also get the really quite good all or nothing pulse rifle that you can potentially buy and invest in. I think they're lacking a bit in their Renegade abilities, but they're definitely not bad at all. And that does mean I think the clear worst choice, in my opinion, is going to be the Pikers. Unless you really want that weapon, like that is the reason to align with them, but their Renegade abilities are definitely lacking, and the Praxic Blade upgrade is also lacking. So for me, if I was to recommend, it is going to be in between the Totality Division, the Cabal, and the Tharsis Reformation, the Vex. It's all about, like, what do you value more? Do you want the better Renegade abilities, or do you want the better Praxic Blade upgrade? And that's kind of for you to judge. So hopefully, guys, this has helped you pick your favorite syndicate, which one you're going to pledge to. If you enjoyed this video, found it informative, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus, that is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.